So, Transformers Rise of the Beast is going to be opening up on June 9th here in the US, and as far as I know, it's pretty much most of the world is going to open up on that same day, but I do believe that they've already opened up in Singapore, so there are some fans who have been talking about it and talking about the details in the movie and posting up their spoilers and what have you, but on top of that, the marketing is just like, they are hitting it heavy. There's going to be a lot of events. There's going to be a lot of there's a lot of TV spots already, and everybody's been talking about it some in positive ways and some in negative ways. And you guys know I have mixed feelings about the movie. And I'm going to talk about some of the promotional stuff that's been coming out as of late. Some cool stuff if you don't want to miss before the movie arrives, especially if you're in the New York area. But there are some other Transformers stories to talk about, including a crossover for one that has already made a lot of noise, especially because it's on the prehistoric side of things. And yeah, it's kind of cool stuff to talk about. So without further ado, let's sit back, relax, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Let's transform and roll out. Consider supporting the channel on Patreon, becoming a channel member, or purchase some merch on my spring store today. So the first thing I want to talk to you guys today about is this event in which is going to be showing up if you're in Brooklyn or if you're in the New York, New Jersey area. They have this big event for Transformers Rise of the Beasts. They have this big graffiti mural, and on June 3rd, today is June the 1st, as of this recording, and they are going to be having at Waterbury and Skull Street in Brooklyn on June 3rd from 3 to 7 p.m. It's going to be this big event with food trucks and like some product showcase stuff. And so I'm sure a lot of people are going to be taking pictures of it. And it's kind of interesting for me because I left New Jersey now a couple of months, I would say, at least 6 months ago. And now they're doing events in New York. Like, come on. Like, now they're doing events in Brooklyn? Like, I'd be easily being able to just have taken the train or a bus into the city and gotten over there. But, you know what? It's for a lot of people who really want to see some of the cool stuff that's there. Be sure to check it out. I know that, it is all part of the promotion for Transformers Rise of the Beast. Now, you guys know, I've been giving my opinions on this movie from the promotional, from the production, from standpoint, some things that I am just like, as a fan, I'm disappointed in. The movie itself looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, but there is a lot of stuff that I'm just like, man, I really wish that you guys had gone this direction because it really would have been special for fans. If you guys got Peter Cullen, you could have gotten Gary Chalk. I don't like Wheeljack's design. I don't care for the Bay films at all. And if you're a fan of the Bay films, that's perfectly fine. I'm just not a fan of them. And so, like, I see the live-action Transformers films, and I'm just like, I want something that, can connect us as fans, and I'm hoping that Rise of the Beast does something special and does something awesome. We'll see, because I'm sure a lot of fans are just like, either they're turned off to the Bay films, or they're like, I don't care, I'm going to go see this. This movie looks awesome. We'll see how it turns out. And that's just, what I'm going to say about that. But on top of that, Hasbro did send me a box that I am going to show you guys what's in it in my next video. I'm going to do a little unboxing because some of the stuff that's in there is going to be some pretty cool stuff that my daughter and my kids are probably going to have fun with. And other stuff I'm probably going to do once I hit over 100,000 subscribers. It'll probably be part of my 100,000 subscriber special. We'll see how that turns out. Now, a lot of people have been anticipating some of the Transformers that have been coming out, and I don't like to usually talk about Transformers leaks, but a lot of stuff's been coming out there, and we're just like, well, where's the news? You're giving us some pipeline stuff. Where's the official images? Because there's so many great action figures. I mean, you guys saw my Metal Hawk retrospective. That's, of course, I have him standing here with his Power of the Primes counterpart. And yeah, speaking of the figure, I've got to get the Toy Hacks labels for him. And yeah, because currently right now, if you decide to order from Toy Hacks, if you use my code RodimusPrimal, you'll be able to get 15% off your order. And so it is something that is worth it for a lot of people who like to go the extra mile for their Transformers figures and what have you. And I'm sure that when this figure finally gets released, Shadow Striker, that we're probably going to see a lot of Toy Hacks labels to make this one stand out. But I do want to talk about her just in particular because a lot of people are talking about, you know, they're getting up in arms about the fact that she's not one-to-one to Cyberverse. And it's like, guys, the original Shadow Striker, she was a retool of Transformers car robots, robots in disguise, Sideburn, which is why the chest looks the way that it does. And it seems like they are marrying those two ideas in taking Shadow Striker and, you know, from her original mold, it was a BotCon exclusive, to the newer version in this darker, deeper purple. They're just not making her like the Frankenstein monster where she has like all these different robot parts all over her, you know, and that's fine. The vehicle mode I don't really care for, but I'm sure they're going to retool it for Sideburn. Like if you look at the way that the car itself is designed, I think that it's not going to end up looking like this completely. But then again, the hood of the car is like her midsection. So it's a weird transformation, clearly, but I'm sure that they're going to retool it for Sideburn. And she looks pretty good. Actually is one that I'm excited for because I like the idea of having more Decepticons available. That being said, in Japan, they're doing a masterpiece scale Optimus Prime that is going to be specific for Japanese markets, and I wonder if it'll actually end up crossing over here in the US. And I believe it's supposed to be crowdfunded. It's going to be a Lunar Cruiser Optimus Prime. Pretty cool, I think. It's actually something that, you know, to have a lunar module figure is great. I just don't like the idea of it being like Optimus Prime. Like, it just doesn't, I don't know. If it was if it was just a brand new Transformer and you would have added the character to the mythos, I'm perfectly fine with that, but it just doesn't fit for Optimus. But then again, they do these crossover things with Toyota, and, you know, and the JAXA Lunar Cruiser. So the whole idea here is that it is a crossover. It's a cross-promotional Transformers figure with Optimus Prime, and that's pretty much what they do. They did the same thing for, you know, for Canon and all the cameras, for Reflector and Optimus, and now they have the Lunar Cruiser. This is supposed to be something, it's a concept for a vehicle that I don't know if it exists fully yet, but to my understanding, they want to eventually actually have true people, like actual regular citizens, be able to travel to the moon and use this vehicle to be transported on like a bus. And I guess that's the idea behind this Optimus, is to kind of cross-promote that, get people excited about a space program again, and maybe we might see more astronauts in the future. We'll see. That being said, like I said, it's a whole avenue of cross-promotion, and that is the Jurassic Park crossover. If you guys saw the previous one they did was a T-Rex, they took the Kingdom Megatron figure and gave it a new head, and they did a brand new mold for the Ford Explorer. Well, now they're doing the Jeep. Everyone was wondering, like, what about the Jeep? Because that's the vehicle that most people associate when they think about, you know, sure, you have the iconic T-Rex scene, but most of the time we always saw the Jeeps. And I'm like, how come we don't see more of that? And the one Jeep in particular was Nedry, because he stole the DNA for the dinosaurs and tried to get away, but he got attacked by a I believe, I'm going to butcher the dinosaur name, so I believe it's a Dilophosaurus is the name of it, right? So a Dilophocon is going to be the name of this Decepticon, and the Autobot JP-12, which is designed after Nedry with that helmet, wearing a hard hat though, and having like the glasses and the Barbasol stuff, and then seeing him in vehicle mode is kind of cool because they actually reenact a lot of the scenes, as you can see, having him, you know, the Dilophocon spitting, you know, with the frills, and, you know, getting stuck in the rain. The way they did this, you know, promotion looks really cool. This is actually a set that I think looks a lot better than the previous set. And a lot of people have said that it does look a little bit better. And when you look at both Transformers together there, the dinosaur mode and the Jeep mode look great. Speaking of Jeep mode, you know where I'm going to go with this, right? There are two characters that I want to see Transformers figures made out of the Jeep. Hound and Rollbar. You know, I did a retrospective on Rollbar. Actually, it wasn't Rollbar specifically. It was on the Throttlebots with Goldbug. And Rollbar was one of the Throttlebots. And he was a Jeep. And it would be a perfect retool for that character to have, you know, with a new head, so to speak, if they decide to do it in the future. And I'm also curious if this back portion of the Jeep is removable. Will we actually have like a roll bar on the top there? Or is this like just going to be like non-detachable, you know, as part of the transformation? I'm really curious about that, because that was something that was kind of neat, you know, because then it would add a little bit more flair to this particular vehicle mode. And him being, I believe it's a licensed Jeep, you could actually make Hound out of the figure. A lot of people have been wondering, hey, where's Hound for Transformers Legacy? Like, you know, we had Siege, you know, Hound, and didn't have an Earth mode for him. And I'd really like to see an Earth mode for him. So that's where I'm standing with it. And I do like the dinosaur mode, you know, completely here. But that's, you know, Transformers news has been light as of late. Of course, we're moving into the summer months, and as we're getting tuned up for Rise of the Beasts, you know, everything is gearing towards that. And that's fine. I actually want to remaster some of my retrospectives in leading up to Transformers Rise of the Beasts, and then maybe one directly after. And then what I'm probably going to do is, you know, maybe I actually have a plan for a brand new Transformers retrospective that's going to be in line with Rise of the Beast. And then I'm going to move on to some other characters that many of you have been asking for, and I want to know what you guys are interested in seeing in a Transformers retrospective in the future. Of course, I want to know what you think about all of this Transformers news and more, so please leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Be sure to thumbs up this video and subscribe. Check out my other videos as well. I have much more coming down the pipeline, so stay tuned for that. And as always, guys, until next time, till all are one.